Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. Well, nice thing about my community, it gets to get stuff done. Well, a couple of people have been asking me about further assistance in trying to get the POSIX API, C++ specifically, with interactive brokers for TWS support. What does that mean? Well, if you take a look at our screen here, you haven't probably seen this for a while. It's Linux, Ubuntu specifically. What I'm about to show you is probably the biggest breakthrough I've done all year. What I'm going to show you is, hang on to your pants if you haven't read the headline yet, is I managed to get actual in C++ using GCC, a project I found on GitHub with moderately okay documentation to get me started, and able to get that C++ call using that library to interface and put orders into, of all things, TWS. I'm going to show you that right now. But first I'm going to walk you through the instructions, because it's not all that fantastic, as you can see here. This is my blog posting. You need to set up some stuff with interactive brokers, have your TWS installed on your Linux. In this case, I just want everybody to realize that there is this project here called, from Rudolf Meyer, I guess, TWS Tools. Follow these instructions down here at the GitHub, and hopefully I'll help you out. But you may run into some issues. First, do the standard git clone. Second, if you are on Ubuntu, I highly recommend using that distribution. If you are kind of shaky in the world of Linux like I am, it's easy to install stuff. It's designed for that. You worry about the more advanced, the better distros of Linux as you get better in Linux. But to start with, I'd recommend Ubuntu. Okay, so what you do is you do an apt-get install of AutoTools. You also need to do an apt-get of install of auto conf, auto configure. But before you do that, or is there anything I'm missing here? No. Yeah, and you find all these instructions here. And once you get all that fancy schmancy stuff, and you can follow along here in the description, but as it says here, where am I? When building the Git checkout, you need the auto tools and something else. Am I got the right? No, I don't have the right project here. Let me just go to the right one. We want TWS API. We want this one. So specifically, when you're trying to follow these instructions, make sure you have the auto tools installed in your Linux environment, your lib tool, and of course you need to type that out as well. So I've documented all that, works fine. So you can install the auto tools, the auto configure or auto conf, and get that installed. You get it running like that. In this case, I just separate out the parameters. Once you get that, then you can do a configure, you can do a make, and then of course a make install. I had permissioning problems, so I ran it as root. Now in the actual source code under your POSIX clients, POSIX test client source code, CPP, I just changed around a few things. I changed around the MSFT, changed it to Apple, and I've also just changed the order and auxiliary price at just above the current market price in my demo account on TWS. So let's jump into Linux and give you a little rundown how this works. Okay, so we've got TWS running. Now, people are always going to run into problems with this. Don't ask me why. I keep going on about it. Hopefully you've seen enough of my videos on TWS. Always, if you don't do this, you're going to have problems. Come under Configure. Make sure under your API settings you set Enable ActiveX, Socket Client. Disable read-only, because we're going to place orders into the TWS. And what else under here? No, and then just as a precaution, just check on all these puppies here, okay? Nice and easy, you know, works just nice. And what I've done here in my TWS, you'll see I've added Apple. That is the one that we are going to work with. Now, if I was to try to say MSFT, I'll show you what will happen. Okay, so once you get everything compiled, built in an actual bin binary version, you can go ahead and do all kinds of cool stuff. So you can see here I have my binary or bin file, and like an exe file or an executable in Windows, and I can run it. Now, what will happen is a few things. Obviously, you got to make sure, so you get your buy on Apple, you get the little alert there. You can see it in the trading log. It's there, and that's the last one we just did. So everything works hunky-dory. Now, apparently in the code it does a cancellation. You know, I don't care about that, but it works, and the connectivity placing order works awesome. Okay, so I'm going to break that execution. Now, as I said, if you're going to keep the original code, you're going to run into a problem. I'll show you that in a minute. POSIX. Now let me just break this puppy. Okay, so I'm now just using simple gedit in Ubuntu. So as I said, I am going to change the Apple. Let me just find it here. Where are you? Okay, I'm going to comment out the Apple and put in Microsoft and show you if you keep it original. Okay, I think it gets confused within the TWS because there's multiple MSFTs. If you don't use the proper symbol name, it gets confused, and this is what happens. So I do a make, and then I can rerun the test client. So you can see here, right here, MSFT is ambiguous, but if I use Apple, it works fine. Don't ask me why. But if I look in, if I take out this Apple, just delete it. Okay, I'll take out the Microsoft. So if I do an MSFT tab, you can see there's multiple different Microsoft options here. And I think one of them gets confused if I use the wrong one. But Apple doesn't seem to have that. So maybe, you know, it just seems to have the one. I don't know. But that works, Apple. I don't care. It works. We got everything working. Well, so what does this mean? I don't have to worry about the Python option for interactive brokers. I don't have to worry no more about TWS Link 2 as an option. It's there if you want to use it, if you want to stay in the world of Windows. And for me, I want to have the fastest possible platform or system. C++ offers that. Not an easy language to work with. And of course, it's in Linux and Ubuntu. And then I can take this now and move it into a better Linux version, and a little more secure, a little more private, so I don't have to run everything in Windows, as you heard me go on about security, privacy, and all that, with all the potential, I'm not saying they do, potential backdoors from Microsoft. So there you are. Everything seems to work all hunky-dory. I'm a happy camper. I hope you too. This is going to make a lot of people happy, and I hope you're one of them. And I'll talk to you later. So this is Breaking News. Of course, my name is Brian Downing from quantlabs.net, and showcasing for the first time C++ in interactive brokers using the POSIX API for TWS. Later.